What a beautiful morning here in California. About 55, had a little bit of drizzle and rain yesterday, just a little last night. And today, another beautiful day. So let's talk about a subject that usually gets me a bunch of people unsubscribing to me. That's human overpopulation. They don't believe in it. They say that you can indefinitely breed and continuously fill up the planet and there'll be no consequences, but that's, of course, not the truth, is it? The U.S. uses 16 times more Earth's resources than any other country, than countries in Africa and India. In 2018, India's footprint was 8 tons per person per year. In the U.S., that's 70 tons of footprint per person per year. Did you know that 1/3 of all global greenhouse gas emissions are from the food industry? Now, can you tell me which part of the food industry makes the most greenhouse gas emissions? Waste and overconsumption are the two biggest problems that humans have with their manufacturing and their food systems. I'm going to set up right over here. So what are the projected human population numbers? Well, let's start with today's numbers. 7,842,590,999 people. But that was hours ago when I looked at it. It's much higher now. By 2050, it's expected to go up to 9,700,000,000. By 2100, it's expected to go up 11 billion humans on the planet. The problem with this projection is we always see that it's lower than actual numbers. So how much arable planting land is there on the planet Earth? 3.5 billion acres. Meat consumption takes up a lot of that land. Consuming land is taken because of the meat industry. For every second of time, there is 2.33 babies born on the planet Earth. It's the highest number it's ever seen. That means less biodiversity and food shortages coming up. How could it mean anything else? There are 790 million people who are malnourished at this time, and that number is growing very quickly. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that there isn't a problem with overpopulation, but there is. It's called consumption. Who consumes? The wealthier the country, the more they consume. The poorer they are, the less they consume. So let's say Africa and India, they can have up to 3 to 6 kids, which equals 1 child in the US or the UK. It's consumption, people. It's your need to go driving, or your need to have the biggest house, or the most expensive food. Meat consumption is probably one of the worst things that's ever happened to planet Earth. But the whole thing with stopping human overpopulation is birth control and contraception and education all over the place. What causes births, how you control it, the whole thing. Education has to be the number one thing that we use to combat overpopulation. Education and teaching people how to use contraceptives, how to use birth control, and how we also need to learn as men to stop controlling women's lives. Really, you guys just, if you're wanting something and it's that time, go find something else to do. We don't really need another unwanted child on the planet Earth. But boy, we're sure seeing a lot of them, aren't we? All over the world, people are having children they don't want, just so they can have sex, because they don't know that sex equals a child. Education and the food system. That's what it takes to control overpopulation. I definitely do appreciate all the ups and downs. New subscribers. Starting tomorrow, we're supposed to get rain, and a little bit of wind, so we'll see what happens. We're getting a little bit more and more water on the ground, but nowhere near what is needed.